Alright, I'm going to do a quick review of the Twisted Hobbies Crack Yak 39-inch. This is by no means a new plane to the world, but it's new to me. And basically I've been flying 3D for 18 months. And I started with a Tech 1 31-inch, and that taught me a lot. And then since then I've gotten a few more bigger 3D planes. But I've always enjoyed how slow the Tech 1 can fly, which is nice when you're flying in a small area. And I added some LED lighting, which you should be able to see. So that should allow me to fly before the sun comes up and when there's fog out, which is something that happens more and more as the winter months come. So it's basically something for the winter. But I'm trying to keep the slow flying capabilities, even though it's a bigger plane. So what I did there is I built it as light as I could. So there's no landing gear because I just land in the grass anyway. And I used all the lightest servos I could. And I'm going with the smaller battery. Just to take a quick look at the back. Maybe, yeah. Just try not to drop my camera in the meantime. So there you can see how I did my LEDs. They're embedded in the wing. And I use a separate 9-volt regulator. Everything is very small and light because I didn't want to weigh down the plane. Yeah, more function over form here, just trying to be able to see at night. There's my ESC. I went with a plush because I had one on hand. For the motor I'm using a Sunny Sky 980 2212. It's similar to the larger Sunny Sky I use on my Edge, and I like it there, so assuming it'll be good. I'm using an X6R receiver. Just about any receiver that's more than 5 channels should be great for this plane. I think you definitely want to have the separate aileron control so you can do your differential and fine-tuning. Yeah, that's about it. The only other things I'll say about the build is just a few little things. One is that the instructions need to be updated online. The other is they sometimes make cuts, but I had to make a surprising number of cuts myself. For example, they cut the rudder and elevator hinge lines, but not the ailerons. And I think the ailerons are actually the more tricky ones to get right, because for the rudder and elevator, they have you cut the control rod, but for the aileron they say, oh, it's already pre-cut. So that's kind of a weird mismatch of them doing half the steps. And then the other thing is the instructions say to put this on pretty early, but my suggestion would be to put it on as late as you can, because as soon as you put it on, all the servo connections and stuff are a real pain to feed through here, so I would wait to put that on. And then the last thing is that the rudder and elevator servos are fairly buried. So if you want to, for example, change the control horn, it's going to be really hard to get that screw out. And then the elevator one's even worse. I don't even know how to get the elevator servo out easily without, cutting into the plane. And in the instructions they say just use XYZ hole, but they're assuming you're using their servos. But the plane is actually sold as a kit, so they don't sell it with anything. But anyway, those are all minor things, assuming that the plane flies well, which I think it will. So that's the next step, is to put it in the air. Alright, let's take this thing up. We'll see if if it flies really well, I'll try to hand catch it, but so this stuff works. Okay, seems fine. Alright. So it's pretty much flying really well with no trim. Yeah, it's flying nice and slow. I'll try to pop it into a hover right away, why not? Oh yeah. Looks good. Try to bring it closer. I haven't checked CG yet. I'm like kind of getting ahead of myself. But I'm so excited to just try this thing out. Yeah, looks good. Whoop. Hand fell off the stick there. Things move a little bit slow. Feel kind of forgiving. Flying in a small area seems like it's going to be fine. Alright, let's try flying upside down. Make sure that works good. Yeah, seems fine. So far, I'm really happy. Okay, we'll try Harriers. Nice and easy, no problems there. I will go clockwise. Sometimes I get going counterclockwise and forget to go the other direction. Oh, that's a little sloppy looking. I think that's me though, just getting used to the plane. This is inverted, of course. This thing will spin crazy. I, of course, have no idea what to set expo and rate, or expo to. I guess rates, I just go full rates. For me, it's mainly just a matter of what do you set expo to. Yeah, a little easier to fly than basically any plane. A little easier than the Tech one, because it's slightly more precise, just slightly. And, well, maybe, I don't know. And easier than the other planes because it's slower and floatier. Alright, what else can I do? I guess I can do a Harrier, or try a Harrier roll. I'm not very good at them. Yeah, looks good there too. Can try some light XA. We'll try a really light knife edge spin. I don't want to get too crazy. Yeah, I'll try heavier ones later. I don't like to knife edge spin too early because it could be the last thing I do for a while if there's a problem with the structure. Not that I've had a problem, but I've heard stories. 1 minute 30. Okay, about 30 more seconds of throttle time, and we will have to call it. Because I have to check the battery after that. I'm using a throttle timer, which scales your throttle with the clock. So if you're running half throttle, it runs the clock half as fast, for example. I found it a nice way to measure, approximate your battery usage without going telemetry. Often I do go telemetry, but in this case I decided I just didn't want to spend the weight. And I don't think it's really necessary. Alright. See if we can do a hand catch. A little bit. It's a little bit bigger plane, less forgiving, but we'll try. Got it. Alright. So, flying wise, I'd give that probably a 9 out of 10. I mean, it was pretty awesome for the most part. But I've flown a lot of awesome planes, so. But yeah, good stuff. The only thing left to do is check the battery. Oh yeah, that's over here.
Telemetry lost.
Right. So our timer is, it says 4:33, and our This is a 650 milliamp. And we are at 3.82. So I guess a 2-minute timer is probably about right. Alright, so to wrap up, pretty happy overall. I mean, a couple hiccups in the build, but that'll all be forgotten soon enough as I enjoy the way the plane flies and looks. So thank you, and have a good day.